Hello, welcome to the installation guide for Virtual Roll Call. Before being able to run the app, there are a couple of things that you will need to do. We are using the mean stack, which is MySQL, Express, Angular, and Node.js. So first, let's install Node.js. Just go to nodejs.org and you will see the available downloads. I'm running version 12.14, but whatever recommended version they have should be fine. Now let's install Angular CLI. You will run npm install @angular/CLI. You can use -g if you want to install it globally, and --save if you just want to save it into your project, which is what I did. So now we need to install the server, and you should go and download MySQL Server and MySQL Workbench. Once you have MySQL Workbench up and running and connected to your local server, you're going to want to open up the two scripts that are provided in the project folder. The first file will create the database, and the second file will populate the database with test data. Now we need to go to /vrc/database/db.js, and in this file you will put your username and password. You will also need to get a Google Maps API key and insert that into the watch orders component. Now we can install the node modules into the project and get it running. So open up two terminals, one in the VRC directory and one in the client directory. Run npm install in both of them. This will install all of the packages that we have downloaded through npm that are stored in the node modules folder. And now to start the server, we're going to run nodemon server.js inside of the VRC directory, and in the client directory we're going to run ngserve --proxy-config proxy-conf.json. And once Angular finishes compiling, you can go to localhost 4200 and view the app. While we're still in development, you can go to /register and create a new test user so that you can log in as an officer and test the application. And that's it. That's all you need to get the app up and running. All of the links for the resources are in the description. Now I will go through the directory structure of the app so you can understand all of the moving pieces and so you can get started. So we have the database folder, which has the two scripts that you need to run to get the database started. Then we have the VRC folder, and the main file in there is server.js. It is the entry point for the server. It includes all of the routes and all of the models that we have created, and it instantiates the server. Models will have a model file for each database table, and in routes we have almost one file for every model, just to keep it organized. In database, we have the database connection. This is where you will put your username and password. Client is where all of the Angular stuff resides. Proxy.config is the proxy file that we used when we started the client in the terminal. It contains translations for each one of these links, and it sends you to the server, which is localhost 3000. The angular.json file lets you include a couple things: assets, styles, and scripts. Okay, so in source we have the index.html file, and this is the main index file for the Angular client, and I've included Bootstrap in there. Assets has an image folder which just has some images that we can use in the app, and uploads is actually where the documents are stored. App contains all of the components, including the main component, which is the app component. A component contains three things: an HTML file, a CSS file, and a TypeScript file, which acts as the controller in the model view controller. So the component file just has the nav bar, and it basically appends this to every other component. Each one of these folders is a component, and it has the respective component files. The services folder has a couple of services files, and all that a service is just a couple of functions. Usually they are to perform some HTTP request, and also I have some interfaces that help create objects and pass them back and forth. And lastly, the app.module TypeScript file contains all of the components, all of the modules, all of the services for the entire app. It has all of the routes mapped by link to component, and I also have this parameter can activate, and I'm passing my authentication service to it so that the user has to be logged in to be able to view these pages. In ng module, I declare all of the components, all of the modules, and all of these services. And that is it.